If you've been in the Pi network community for a while, you know there's one question that just keeps coming up year after year. When is this thing actually going to do something? When does it stop being just a mining app and become a real, functioning blockchain? Well, today, we're diving deep into that, because that question, it finally has an answer. And get this, that answer, it finally has a date. Go ahead and circle May 18th, 2026 on your calendar, because that's the day Pi Network is planning to flip the switch on protocol V23. This is the upgrade that unlocks smart contracts, decentralized apps, the ability for developers to finally build real things on Pi. This isn't just another update, it's a complete game changer. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? For 7 long years, this question has been like a shadow over the whole project. You saw other blockchains launch with all the bells and whistles, while Pi just stayed in this long, quiet development phase. Millions of you were patiently tapping that button on your phone, all wondering, what is the end game here? Look, 7 years is a long time to wait, and the community has, understandably been getting a little restless. So why the long wait? Well, the team's answer basically comes down to a single analogy. You can't build a skyscraper overnight. You don't start with a fancy penthouse suite, you have to start with a deep, unshakable foundation. And when you actually look at their process, it starts to make a lot of sense. Think about it. Versions 19 to 21 were all about pouring that concrete foundation, getting the nodes in sync, making sure the network was stable, and, this is huge, getting 18 million people KYC verified. Then came V22, which was like putting up the steel frame, all the security rules and governance. And V23, well, that's when the doors finally swing open. The smart contracts are the elevator. Without them, you've just got a really tall building that nobody can get into. So yeah, it was slow, but you can see it was incredibly deliberate.
Okay, so how are they actually pulling this off? How does an upgrade this massive even work? Well, to get ready, Pi Network had to do something pretty drastic, a mandatory hard fork. The best way to think about it is like a critical engine swap that's needed to get the car ready for the Autobahn.
I know, hard fork sounds like a scary, super technical term, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Imagine you're driving down the highway, right? And an announcement comes on. By Tuesday, every single car on this road must switch to a new type of fuel. If you don't make the switch, your car just sputters to a stop. You're left on the shoulder while everyone else zooms by. That's a hard fork. Everybody upgrades together or they get left behind. So why go through all this trouble? Why the mandatory switch? Well, the answer is in Pi's DNA. You see, Pi Network is built on a modified version of the Stellar blockchain. We're talking about one of the most established, battle-tested protocols in the entire crypto space, trusted by huge companies for things like cross-border payments. And this is really the brilliant part of their strategy. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. By building on top of Stellar, they can just inherit all of its upgrades and security features that took years to perfect. The hard fork was basically them swapping in this powerful pre-built engine. It's a massive shortcut to building something that is both secure and stable. All right, now let's get to the star of the show, smart contracts. This is the feature that changes absolutely everything for Pi. I know it sounds technical, but I promise, after this next little analogy, you're gonna get it completely. A smart contract is basically just a vending machine on the blockchain. Seriously, think about it. You walk up to a vending machine, you put in a coin, that's the condition. You press the button for your snack, that's the rule. And what happens? The snack drops. It's automatic. There's no cashier to argue with, no manager to approve it. The machine just follows the code. That's exactly what a smart contract does. If a condition is met, then an action happens, all without a bank, a lawyer, or any other middleman. And this is why it is such a monumental shift for the network. Before V23, Pi was kind of like one of those old-school Nokia phones. It was reliable, but it really only did one thing: send and receive Pi. After V23, it becomes a smartphone. It becomes a platform where developers can build anything: apps, games, financial services, you name it. It goes from being a simple ledger to a living, breathing ecosystem. And here's the kicker. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky promise for the future. The smart contract code is already out there. It's public. That means right now, today, developers anywhere in the world can go look at the code, start playing with it, and begin planning the apps they're going to build. The groundwork is already there. So let's bring it back to you. If you're one of the millions of pioneers who has been hitting that little lightning button on your phone for years, what does all this techie stuff actually mean for you? Well, in a nutshell, it means your Pi is finally about to get a job. This upgrade really brings 3 huge changes. First, your Pi finally has utility. a reason to exist. It goes from just sitting in a wallet to being used in apps, for lending in marketplaces. Second, you get the Pi DEX, a decentralized exchange built right into the system. And third, and this one is big for the project's reputation, the whole conversation around Pi changes. It stops being compared to simple mining apps and starts being discussed alongside giants like Ethereum and Solana. Let's make that DEX thing super clear. A normal crypto exchange, like Coinbase or Binance, that's like the currency exchange booth at the airport. You have to go through them, the middleman, and they're going to take their cut. A decentralized exchange, a DEX, is like turning to the person sitting next to you at the gate and just swapping cash directly. No booth, no middleman, just you and them. It's all powered by those smart contracts we just talked about.
And who's going to be using all this new stuff from day one? Not a few hundred people, not a few thousand. 18 million KYC verified users. That is a mind-boggling head start that most new blockchains can only dream of. They've been waiting for years for something to be built, and V23 is finally delivering it.
Okay, so it all sounds amazing, right? But let's pump the brakes for just a second. To get the whole story, we have to be realistic. We have to look at the very real risks and the big challenges that Pi Network is about to face.
So let's look at both sides of the coin here. The bull case, the optimistic view, is really strong. You've got working smart contracts, a built-in DEX, 18 million verified users, and a foundation built on proven tech. But the bear case is just as important. Will developers actually show up and build useful apps? Can the market absorb the constant sell pressure from all the new tokens? And maybe the biggest question of all, can the team pull off a flawless launch? And let's just zero in on that sell pressure for a moment. We are talking about 4.6 million new Pi tokens being unlocked every single day. That is a tidal wave of new supply that will be hitting the market day in and day out. Even the most incredible technology can't beat basic supply and demand if there isn't enough buying to soak all that up. But, and this is a really important but, this isn't just an idea on a whiteboard anymore. This isn't a promise. The testnet is already running V23. The code is already public for anyone in the world to go and look at. The technology is real and it's being tested right now. The question is no longer if they can build it. So let's bring this all full circle. For 7 years, the Pi Network team has been methodically building their Skyscraper. They poured the foundation, they put up the steel frame, they installed all the security systems. And on May 18th, 2026, the elevator is finally scheduled to be turned on, opening up the entire building to the world.
So the question is no longer about whether Pi can build the technology. The testnet proves they already have. The real billion-dollar question now is, with the doors to the Skyscraper finally open, will the world show up to use it?